Hey, Pat Smokes, it's Tom Arnett, the pecan man.
I want the pecan.
How many you want?
I want 8 halves.
8 halves.
Are they still, wait. Are they still $10 a bag?
They are indeed.
Yay! Okay. I want 8 halves. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And 2 chopped.
2 chopped. All right.
So that's a cool 100, right?
Yeah. So
okay,
how we
do
get
you pay credit card?
We do. I don't do it, but I'll ask Catherine how we do it. Oh, we do PayPal. Will that work?
I don't know. What's PayPal? I've never done PayPal.
Okay. We won't worry about that.
But I can go to the bank if I know when you're coming, and I can run over to this bank is credit union. I can go get $100 and come back.
Okay.
So it's not a big deal.
Okay. So come to the store, or where do you want to meet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
At the store.
Okay. So you guys are back.
Store hours are only 9 to 3 now.
Okay. I'll try and come by tomorrow afternoon. Will that be all right?
As long as it's before 3, sure.
I got it. I understand. Okay. I'll see you then, Pat.
Well, I'm so glad. And do you have any cards or? Well, I could just tell people, but a lot of our customers that come in the store would buy it if they knew about it.
I'll see if I can.
I don't know how many you're trying to sell.
At the very least, I'll get a flyer set up with a QR code. How's that?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, Pat. Bye.
See you tomorrow.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Hello?
Hey, Brian. It's Tom.
Hey, Tom.
You waiting until the last minute to get on board?
Yeah.
All right. Add smoke detectors to your old business.
Yes. I was going to. I was just looking over that stuff. I was like, shoot, I forgot the smoke detectors.
Yeah. And then you got the note. You got the revised agenda, right, with the streetwise stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Good deal.
Yes.
All right. Just want to make sure.
All right.
All right, buddy. Talk to you in a bit.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, add 2 more two more bags to that, but the halves, not the chopped.
So 10 halves and 2 chopped.
Correct.
You got it. Thank you,
All right,
Pat.
thanks.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Good evening.
Hi.
Might be easier if people find us if you turn the lights on outside.
It's dark out there.
I'm sorry. What were you thinking? How are you guys?
I'm all right, how are you?
Just wondered if I was going to be the only one. Yeah. Have a throw a party?
Sorry we were way late at the Starbucks.
Waylaid at the Starbucks.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're supposed to have a guest coming. Hopefully she finds us.
Oh, cool.
Where's that?
Ryan, I haven't heard from. I assume he's probably got something going on. Brian is dialing in. Pete is not coming at all, is the way I understand it. Don will be, yeah, he'll be virtual. He asked me to give him a ride. I didn't get the message, so I was already here.
No worries.
And,
No reason given by our Zoom chair.
he's saving the mannequins tonight.
Saving the mannequins?
That's what he does. He does, what do you call it?
CPR.
CPR classes, saving the mannequins.
Oh. Let's see, manatee.
Well, I had just moved up here from the coast and it's saved the manatees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was pretty cute. But anyway, I have a shirt that says save the mannequins.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good image. Is that new?
You noticed? Yeah, it's a new TV.
Okay.
Not a new TV, it's a,
Newer.
the other one was a Roku and my daughter's big screen Roku burned up.
Oh.
So she reclaimed her 32-inch Roku, which was the one that was here. And this was on my wall at the office.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty good.
It's easier to use than the other one.
Oh, well, there you
So it
go.
works out better.
It works out good.
You had to find that one.
No, just,
All right.
because we didn't have a remote for the other one. That was the frustration.
Oh, yeah. I get that.
This one fires right up and comes in on the right chance signal and everything. So,
Sweet. What's that?
Brian usually comes in early. I don't know what he's waiting for.
And there's a red dot on Teams, is that because there's
It's a
something?
message, that's a Dropbox.
No, I meant on the square.
It means we're in session.
Oh,
Court's in session.
okay.
Maybe he's waiting for us to play Hail to the Chief.
Did you turn the heat on?
I did not.
But just a
Sure.
because iced coffee.
I didn't even turn the lights on outside. I was,
Not be here long enough to get cold.
I see headlights. Hey, when you found this?
I did, you kind of have to know this is back here, at least in the dark.
A little bit.
Oh.
Please.
we need to ask them to trim the shrubs around the stop sign.
I know, they really do.
Hi, I'm Tom.
I'm Karen Zapp.
Nice to meet you, Karen.
Good to meet you.
My
I'm
husband.
Bill Gibbs.
Ah,
Nice to meet you.
Part of Team Gibbs.
Yes. 13 years.
All right.
I want to sit here.
Yeah, please, no,
No,
no.
no,
It's going to be a small crowd tonight. We have several joining virtually tonight
Okay.
for various reasons. So we're just getting the lowdown. Do you have a con money for me?
If you want it, or I can save it and send you a check.
I want money, always.
116 cash.
Okay.
And this is for the convention badges. And Brian says there's no link.
You said 160?
Yes. Hey, Brian.
Tom, just to let you know I'm in the lobby.
We just looked. I'm sorry. I missed you.
Just like that.
I don't see you, Brian. We're in the,
Can you see me in the lobby?
no, you on the right week?
I clicked the
Okay.
one from this week.
Okay.
That's not your full dinner.
Oh,
No.
it's a snackage. It's a hold you over.
All right, I sent you another request to join. You see it?
Hold on. All right, I'm not seeing the request for some reason.
Okay, I just took a slurp, so I'm good.
About a granola bar, I think.
We have snacks. Usually our membership meeting, our second meeting of the month is, we try to have dinner option for those that want to come a little early and eat and fellowship. And
How do you do that?
one of our members is starting his own catering company, so that helps. In the past, we've ordered, we've taken pre-orders for like Jason's Deli or,
Brian, you still there?
so
Yeah, I'm here.
like,
Brian, I don't know. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know what's
Right.
going on.
Let me try it another way. Give me a minute.
Okay,
Try it another way. Give me just a minute.
okay.
Oh, these two things go together. Okay, cool. I guess I need my printout. I didn't forget.
So Bill, you're not wearing your snazzy vest.
No. I forgot. Well, I was lucky to remember my badge.
See, you got your badge.
Yeah.
I was carrying the bag out and I saw the vest. I was like, oh man, I even forgot my badge.
So Rainbow got his name tag. He's like, okay, well, she got that.
Didn't
This-
want to be fined by
This-
Till
Twister, yeah.
Yeah, he does a horrible job of looking at that stuff.
Oh, man. Socket left it. We could have been here.
I think it's time to pass the baton to tail twister. You make a great tail twister.
Yeah, he would. I think he would make a great tail twister.
Would you be a sub until we can get you being a full tail twister?
What mischievous things can I come up
Oh, I have no doubt.
I'm sure you can come up with lots. You smell, it's the furnace, I guess.
Yes, the
First time.
In Lionism, every club should have what they call a tail twister, and that person is promoting friendship and through being, as far as lightheartedness, finding ways to bring people together. Not just you're showing up and you're seeing people at a meeting, but you may not really get to know them. So
Encourage interaction.
exactly. So thought provoking things. I've met a few tail twisters at bigger events or
There we
district
go.
events where he'd be like, okay, who in here is wearing the color blue? And people are like, okay, all of you owe me $1. Okay, and then,
Okey-dokey.
but a lot of times the tail twister is also, it's a little bit of a fundraiser.
Hello.
To help-
Hey, Brian,
help the club.
What'd you do? Hey, Brian.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm here via phone.
Okay.
Can y'all
Sorry.
hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you great. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you great.
The people out on the field can hear you.
Who's all here?
Looks like we've got a delay. It'll take him.
There's Team Gibbs, Tom, and
Karen's
Karen from
how many words?
How Money Works. And
Oh, good.
and Don is supposed to be here, but since you were having trouble getting on, I'm wondering if he is as well.
That might be a possibility.
Oh, somebody else is here. Hold on.
Oh,
There's
there's
Don.
Don.
Right, Don?
Don's in. Don, you're muted.
Hi, Don.
Don is muted.
Don, if you can hear us, you're muted.
You can't hear us, you're still muted.
Yeah. That's what a tail twister's for.
See, that's,
The redundant, I had, when we first started doing emails, I was in the Rotary Club. And somebody calls me up one day and says, Tom, you need to send out an email. We're getting a lot of these emails that bounce back. You tell people, send them an email and tell them they need to update their emails. I said, I'm happy to do that. But,
sounds like a conversation I had today.
All right. I guess we will try to get this meeting to order. Hopefully it'll go over well. Welcome to the first meeting of the month of November here with the Lawrenceville Lions Club. My name is Brian Donegan. I'm the president. Welcome to everybody. It's an interesting night already, but we'll get through it like we always do. Before we get started, may I ask Lion Tom to lead us in the pledge, and Lion Catherine to follow that with an invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At least there won't be an echo for the invitation.
Well, there's that. You bow your heads, please. No, you're fine. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for all the many blessings you've given us. Thank you for the opportunity to meet as Lions. We ask that you be with us as we discuss our future projects, our past projects, and be with those who could not attend tonight. All this we ask in Christ's name. Amen.
Yeah, it might have been kind of appropriate, an echo, the voice from above.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Brian, let me do some housekeeping here. Don, did you have trouble getting on? Brian had trouble getting on.
No.
Okay.
Really, no.
Okay. It's all on you, Brian.
Well,
Weird.
Okay. So back to you.
Excellent. Next up is approval of the agenda. I would go ahead and, as it's written in the agenda, since Pete is unable to be with us tonight, we're going to table the membership report and the building report under old business, and we are going to add to the old business a report about smoke alarm. Other than that, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
second.
Is the second?
Yes, you have a second.
All right. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. I believe the ayes have it.
There you go.
So the agenda is approved. Tom, Taylor Twister.
Yes, sir. Thank you, President Brian. And since it is just past the Halloween holiday, I thought I would take the opportunity to ask, well, before I do that, everybody that's here tonight pays $2. Everybody that's attending virtually pays $3.
I'll be right over. And I've got yours.
Anyway,
As my guest, I will take care of Karen's too.
Peter knows that's part of the deal.
No, because I wasn't expecting him to declare everybody here, so no worries.
So like I said, since it's just past Halloween, I figured I'd take the opportunity to ask, what's the best prank you have either seen or participated in? And we'll start with the prankster himself, Don McGilvray.
Oh, geez, thank you. Pranked. I was never much of a prankster, though. I was a good kid.
You saw,
One of the good
certainly seen some pranks.
Yeah, we can see the halo from here, Don.
Should be showing up. Okay. One time we were still lifting Connecticut. I didn't go full of train load. Or handle.
Teasing us, right?
One of my friends.
Hey, Don, take a break, Don. You're, I guess you're not talking right at the microphone, it's breaking up on us.
Okay, let me try this. They picked up this firecracker to scare my friend when he came to visit, so I got it all set up. I called him up, said, Kevin, come over. And then when you opened the door, nothing happened. It didn't. So the prank was on me.
How about you, President Brian?
Gosh. The one that I can think of off the top of my head, was, gosh, I think I was like 9. I was about to go to bed and, a neighbor or brother, I don't know who, decided it was a good idea, to light a cherry bomb in front of my window.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It sounds
I'm
scary.
not kidding. It was, but it's a prank.
Definitely. Yeah. How about you, Bill?
So I know there's plenty. Oh,
The list is long and distinguished, as they say.
April Fools. Tell one of your April Fools stories.
Oh, I don't know what those are. The thing
Yeah.
that comes to mind, 2 things, I guess. One is, remember those, you used to call them loads or something like that you put in cigarettes and they exploded? We used to do it on my father all the time. And that's probably why he had his first heart attack. Anyway, that was always good. And I guess I don't know if that'd be a prank or when I first met Catherine, I told the family that I met her at the Gold Club.
Great, now let's put that.
How long have you been in Atlanta?
Just since February.
Oh.
So you don't know what the Gold Club
The Gold
is?
Club is an old strip club downtown.
Oh, right.
That one.
Thanks for putting that on permanent record in the car. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
On video.
Happy birthday to you, too.
Other than that, nothing comes to mind.
How about you?
When I was in the Navy, we have a tradition that at least within the Civil Engineer Corps, which is what I was in, that the junior ensign in your wardroom was responsible for this boot. Now it was like a combat boot thing, but we filled it with concrete and then had a piece of rebar sticking out the top. And so every wardroom event, this poor ensign had to lug that thing around. Well, the challenge was the rest of us were always trying to steal it. And we managed to steal it, and he was caught. So as punishment, at that time I was stationed in Newport, Rhode Island. And that's one of the few places where they have a Navy brig. And I went over and I talked to the officer in charge, and I said, hey, because how much fun do these people have? Let's get real. So I said, do you mind? And I also cleared it with my commanding officer.
Before you did
I was
it.
gonna say.
And so we had the Shore Patrol go arrest the MPs, arrested the guy,
Oh, God.
locked him in the brig.
Now, this is for stealing the boot.
Well, for losing it.
Oh, for losing it, okay.
Yes, he had this big responsibility and he
Yeah.
fouled up.
Yeah.
So he sat on the brig and he was in there for about an hour or 2, and then they called the commanding officer and he played along and he said, well, I don't know if we should let him out or not. I think you better let him sit there another hour. He was having fun too. Anyway, the poor boy was finally let out, so yeah.
So now junior ensign is how long in the Navy?
Well, it all depends on where your particular wardroom. It's the most junior officer within a specific wardroom at that location. So if you have more than one ensign, it's but the odds are there. I mean, it's less than 2 years to be sure, because otherwise they wouldn't be an ensign. So, that's what I did.
Newport, that's where my brother got to OCS, graduated from Newport.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
He wasn't in the break.
Good.
I have some interesting friends, and one was the boyfriend of a lady that worked for one of the property managers of malls. The older mall in Roanoke had an old fiberglass rabbit that was taller than somebody in.
I don't know, that middle one was flashing, that number was flashing.
This one?
That's
Brian.
That's Brian.
But anyway, they had, it was about a 12 or 14-foot fiberglass rabbit, large enough that it had a back door in it. Somebody gets in it, and what it would do is they would dispense Easter eggs at Easter times to the kids. And this thing, at this time, it must have been like 20 years old, and it was way past its prime. And the mall decided to get rid of it, and they were going to take it to the dump. Well, my friend, the boyfriend of the lady that works there, he decides, oh, that's way too good. So he calls me up, and he calls another one of my friends. He says, I need your help. He said, we're going to play a prank on Ed. Now, Ed lived in a nice ranch in a pretty fashionable neighborhood on the golf course. So his idea of the prank was we were going to take this 12-foot rabbit and drop it off in his driveway. And we knew he'd be out to dinner for most of the night, so we had plenty of time to do it. We just had to wait for him to leave. So, I'm sitting here thinking, this is the lamest thing, right? So we get this rabbit loaded up in a pickup truck. We truck it over to his house, and as soon as he leaves to go out to dinner, we dump it in his driveway. Right in the middle of the driveway, couldn't get in his garage.
Yeah.
So I don't think any more about it. I got home, go to bed. Next morning, phone rings. I pick it up. He says, I'm going to kill you. I said, what? He says, Arnett, I know it was you. I'm going to kill you. Ed, what are you talking about? He said, no, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to kill you. I said, Ed, I don't know what you're talking about. And so he says, okay, I'll play along. And so he says, I want you to know I was out last night, I was having a good time. I come home at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I cannot get in my garage because there's this 12-foot rabbit sitting in the middle of my driveway.
God, if you'd had too much to drink.
So I said, this sounds pretty hilarious. I said, and so he talks a little bit more, and he's really pissed off. He couldn't get to bed. He couldn't get his car in the garage and stuff. And then he says, he says, well, the police were here, and that got my attention, I said, so what? He said, I called the cops. He said that they came out, and
He's probably got a good laugh.
he says, I called him. It took him about 30 minutes to get here. He said, and I go open the door, and the officer says, Mr. Smith, that sure is a big rabbit you got sitting in your driveway. So Ed invites him in, and they start talking about the rabbit, and the officer obviously thinks it's really humorous. And
Sure.
they talk for a while, and the officer completes his report, and he's getting ready to leave, and he says, wait a minute, what are you going to do about the rabbit? I said, Mr. Smith, if nobody claims that rabbit, he's yours. But what I left that part was, he walks down in the sunken living room of Ed's house, pulls his radio out. Dispatch, this is Officer Edwards. He says, I am over here at so-and-so Ravenswood Y. And what we have, and he had to cut his radio off. He started laughing.
Yeah.
Gets his composure back, gets back. What we have here is a 12 to 14-foot rabbit sitting in the middle of a driveway. So would you mind checking with the surrounding cities and localities and see if anyone's missing a 12-foot rabbit?
And dispatch is going, are you out of your mind?
Put the beer down.
Yeah.
So they, you know, after about 5 minutes, they come back on and said, Officer Edwards, we have checked with the surrounding cities and localities, and no one seems to have reported a missing 12-foot rabbit. But there are several people here in the squad. They'd like to know, what color is this rabbit? Doesn't have coconuts. So, but anyway,
That gave the police station some fun.
well, it made the morning the national news.
Oh, no.
First it makes the local news, then it makes the national news. And so anyway,
Oh, that was good. I mean,
I thought this was really going to be lame, and it just blows up into this huge thing. And then to top it off, Ed's from West Virginia. His mom lived in West Virginia, and she volunteered at a drunk tank, you know, AA house or something like that. So she claimed the rabbit. And she sent somebody down to get the rabbit, and I heard tales. I saw a rabbit going down Interstate 81. And but she,
AA meeting?
yeah, she put it in just so that people wake up. They go.
where did this original prank take place? Here?
It does in Roanoke, Virginia.
Roanoke, Virginia. Okay. So did they ever figure out you were part of this?
I think I finally admitted to it. But you know, it wasn't my prank. You know, I was just
Hired help.
Bob Kreger was the guy that instigated. He was.
Okay,
Well, that's a good one.
I like that.
Yeah, that concludes our tail twister portion.
Well, she
President
didn't-
Brian.
Really?
She didn't.
I'm sorry, Catherine.
All right. That
Whoa,
brings us
Brian, I screwed up. I forgot. I didn't let Lion Catherine go, so she needs to talk.
Oh,
I make a motion that we charge Tom $2 for failing to allow all members to participate.
So be it.
Thank you, Don. So I have the pleasure of having the most gullible person on the planet for a sister, which has made for some awesome events in my life, thanks to my dad and I. The one, after sitting here thinking about several, the one I would like to share with you is the night that my roommate and I at the time, my roommate was a travel agent, and my sister was engaged to be married, and she was marrying a young man who was getting ready to graduate from West Point, and he had made his selection of where he wanted to be stationed, and he decided he wanted to be in Anchorage, Alaska. And my sister had never, and I do mean never, lived outside of our family home. She'd never been out on her own.
What age was she?
She was 22,
Okay.
still young, but
Yeah.
like I said, had gone straight to college and this and that. So this would be, not only was she leaving the nest, but she was going from Atlanta across the continent. So my roommate and I decided it would be really funny to tell her that people in Alaska didn't use US currency. And that because of Eskimos, that Eskimos really didn't understand the whole money thing. So they had kind of this coupon barter thing that was kind of like their own version of money. So when she got to Anchorage, she was going to have to convert all of her money into Alaskan currency. Our goal was to get her to call the bank. We wanted her to call and ask for the rate of exchange. That was our plan. So we start piling it on, and she's like, really? And, you know, she's buying it. And I said, well, Tammy's a travel agent. You know, you can ask her. She's using people on cruises all the time, and, you know, they got to worry with that, this and that. Our downfall was that we didn't tell my dad fast enough, who would have totally been in on it. But instead, she said something to my dad, who looked at her like she had 14 heads and said, who in God's green earth told you that? which then left a 20-minute screaming message on my answering machine of her yelling at me for lying to her, which would have been fine and well enough when you've got a new bride. And then my dad turned around and told her that the old TV show Northern Exposure was filmed in downtown Anchorage, which sent her crying to her fiance on the one night of the week he could talk to her from West Point. I don't want to live in Anchorage. I don't want Moose walking down the road. She just lost it. And he's like, it's not filmed in Anchorage. We just kept doing stuff to her. But that was my favorite. It's this close to calling the bank.
Oh.
It was going to be awesome.
Really good, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
My former mother-in-law, somebody called her one time and said, they pretended to be with the water utility.
With what?
The water utility.
Oh, uh-huh.
And so what they did was they said, Ms. Cummings, we're coming into your area. We're going to have to disrupt your water supply for about 24 hours. We're calling you as a courtesy so that you can fill up your bathtubs and sinks and pots and pans or whatever you think you might need to flush your toilets and cook with for the next 24 hours. And you would, as a favor, if you see any of your neighbors, please tell them too. So my former mother-in-law was a very community-oriented person. So she went around to everybody in her subdivision and told them to fill up, and it was all a prank.
Oh, man.
Who instigated this?
Oh,
Same friend reverse.
Man, crazy pants.
Wow.
All right, 7:26, folks.
Oh, we talked too long.
all
I'm
right,
sorry.
let's keep going. This brings up the secretary's report.
Secretary would like someone to move to disregard or dispense.
I'd like to make a motion to dispense with the reading of the last meeting's minutes and the secretary's report.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
You guys are.
All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
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 All right, I'm gonna rush this along. The motion carries. All right, does everybody have a treasurer's report that they can read?
Did I send it to everybody?
I don't know. I only sent it to you and Tom. Brian,
Okay.
I will make it super brief.
Okay,
We're not broke.
good. That's great. Golf tournament report, go. Thank you. Golf tournament, brief golf tournament report, go.
Golf tournament was again a wonderful success. We had 116 registered golfers. Out of that, 76 of them were first responders. We had 104 participate. I am still awaiting a check from Rockstar Golf, but based on my estimate, we expect to have net proceeds from the tournament totaling $4,927. That, of course, will give or take depending on the exact amount of the check from Rocky's folks.
Wonderful.
Well,
We did better last year, right?
we netted better last year, but we gave away more spots to first responders than we did the prior year. So the fact that we were still able to, we raised about $15,000, which was fairly close to the year before, but we also didn't have a hole-in-one sponsor. So there were certain expenses that we came out of pocket that we didn't have to last year. So that's some of the variance.
Right. Great job.
Fantastic. Without Pete here, just a brief mention of pecans. Out of the 95 boxes of pecans that Pete received for us and for the other various clubs, we are down to 15 boxes. With some of them being taken care of later. So get out there and sell, folks.
That's after 4 days, 3 days.
I know, we just got those in.
Yeah.
We
Outstanding.
ordered almost 90 cases at times. So,
All right,
Okay.
Catherine, county, screenings at the county, schools, where are we standing on that?
we are still in a holding pattern, Brian. I have not heard back from Ms. Chambers with the county. My last conversation with, the Reuterts was that they were going to be talking again with, the powers that be at the lighthouse. Because we need to start putting together, we want to put together a grant proposal, with the lighthouse's help to go to LCI to get, funding. And from what we understand, each of the clubs, Norcross, us, and several others in the district have funds available, that we should be able to pull from to help buy a couple of extra machines, which is the goal.
Right.
As far as the raffle
So
goes,
that's,
that's still on hold because I really have not had a chance to take that before the district as a whole. And what limited conversations I've had with different officers in local clubs, there's not been a great deal of hey, yeah, let's be a part of that.
okay.
So that's kind of hanging back on that right now. So, and there's no guarantee that come January, we're going to get, a call saying, hey, we need you guys. So we may get put off again until next school year.
That would not surprise me. But thank you for that report. Next up is Knights with the Swarm and Gladiators.
Look at Swarm first.
Go ahead.
Gladiators, that we're looking at January the 28th. It's $600 up front from us. That gets us 20 lower bowl tickets. It gets us a table space in the main concourse to promote Lionism, anything else that we want. And then they will provide us a link, just like the Stripers would, for all the tickets that we sell in promoting the thing. I'm sorry, it just occurred to me, I don't know how much the tickets are, how much a lower is versus an upper. But
It's usually, lower tickets are usually somewhere in the $20 to $25 range, because I know the upper decks, you can usually get a little cheaper, like between 15 and 20, depending on where it sits on the rink.
Yeah. So I know we want to do this. We didn't talk about the amount. It would cost us $600 to do it. So we would need to have a vote.
But then don't we get a percentage?
Yes.
With this, we get to be part of the 50-50 raffle, if I remember correctly. If we do it on a weekend.
Yes.
So we get back half of the, we get to be the recipient of the 50-50 raffle. So we could easily make that 600 back.
Okay.
And then don't we get a percentage of the sales of the tickets above 200?
We get a percentage of all tickets.
Oh, of all ticket sales, okay. So we get 20 to do with as we please.
Anybody that uses that link, we get a percentage of the sale.
Okay, but we get 20 tickets regardless.
Correct.
So those we could sell.
Yep.
Okay.
Anybody have any other questions?
Is there a motion to do this?
I have a quick, can we use proceeds from the golf tournament to pay for this?
Yes. Because it would,
Yeah.
because what we had, and again, I really wish Ryan were here, because one of the things he and I had talked about when we met with the Glads was that we wanted to try and partner up with his organization. One, because, with a $600 upfront cost, that's a lot to pony up. And that what Ryan and I talked about is we go into it together, and when it's all said and done, the money that comes to the Lions, we would then turn around and split it with Gwinnett Chat Outreach.
Well, we could use the 20 tickets to go
Give to his organization. We could do a lot of things with those 20 tickets.
Yeah.
There's lots of options.
Get some people of influence we want.
So lots and lots of options there. But I really liked the idea of using, because we were going to have a table, again, we can, work with Ryan on that, not only promoting Lions Club, but focusing on, because we can turn around and say, the whole reason we're doing this is to help promote Gwinnett Chat.
Sure.
So, lots of ways to look at it. And it counts as since that we're going to do it on Cancer Night, that also plays into one of our objectives.
Yes.
How does this compare to the cost of it? But you probably get more people at the Gladiators game than the Swarm game.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Cancer Night is usually a huge night.
Yeah.
And it's a Friday night.
And it's a Friday night game.
Okay.
Yeah, the Swarm's not going to be nearly as big, but they've not, as far as I've seen so far, they have not offered us a table. They've not offered us this.
Yeah.
To be the sponsoring organization,
Right.
the nonprofit of the day, whatever you want to call
You can set up your table that you had at the golf tournament.
Sure. I mean, we have the collateral.
Let's
Yeah.
win.
it.
Yeah, with the portfolio, yes. Good point.
So,
That was a bust.
Well, I mean, you never know.
You tried, right? All right.
but I think if we can get Norcross and some of the other local, surrounding clubs,
Well,
just like we do the Stripers, I think it would be a lot of fun.
I'll promote it to them just like Pete did the Stripers thing. Send an email and put it on the district thing and
Send them the
whatever we
link
get
and
some
let them
others.
buy.
And if we use the money if we use proceeds to go to the Aflac Children's Cancer Center, I have contacts over at CHOA that would probably be all over their tickets like white on rice.
All righty then.
Okay, let's turn that down.
I know, right?
Is this all it's quacked up to be?
Then I think that's how I think we split it, because then it's,
Check, please.
I'm just ignoring it. Like I said, we say that, the proceeds from the sales are going to be split between the Aflac Cancer Center and Gwinnett Chat Outreach.
Sounds good.
So,
If,
I like
I don't know if it's appropriate for the chair to make the motion, but I'll make the motion that we do this. And
Now, you're talking about involving other clubs, but we're taking the lead on this, right?
yes.
Okay, we're just giving them the link. Are we going to give
Yeah.
them?
Well, what you tell them is this is your chance. If you don't have any other childhood cancer, here's a fun night out, and
Help us raise money.
this is your childhood cancer fundraiser.
Do they get to participate in the table, or they just participate in selling tickets?
And would they get part of the proceeds?
Yeah.
Because the proceeds only go to your.
Well, but if we stayed up front, these are the two, if we tell them out the money we raise, we're giving them to two organizations. One is directly related to childhood cancer. The other is going to mentor teenagers. I mean, they'd have a really hard time, I think, turning that down.
So the benefit they get out of it, they won't get any monetary benefit, they'll just get the feel-good benefit of selling the tickets. And
Yeah.
the
Well,
money
you can
benefit.
say we had 15 people that went to.
Yeah, we can give them the breakdown and say how much is of there, just like we do for the camp.
Yeah, but I mean, is there a way to tell any of their people that they solicited buy as a ticket?
There is, we can ask them for as many codes.
Yeah, if you give them each.
Each club has a
They give them a
code, like they have to
code.
tell us they want to participate in ticket sales. And if they use their special code, then the gladiators can tell us, just like Ryan will have a code, we'll have a code. Like I said, if Norcross wants one, whatever.
And that way you can tell who is bought,
Right.
you could recognize that Norcross chapter for selling X number of tickets, they won't get any money out of the deal, but they'll get.
That's what I-
Well, that's exactly what we do with the stripers. So
Yeah.
same kind of thing.
Yeah.
They just have to, in the past, they would be responsible for turning their money into the camp. So they get their credit for donating. With this, they don't have to handle the money.
Yeah, okay.
They just have to direct people to the link.
But they still get to enter in on the service report that they raised so much for children's
Yes.
childhood cancer.
Absolutely.
So we wouldn't give a spot at the table then? Okay. That's what I'm thinking, you know,
Yeah.
because it's our initial layout of $600. We should get the table.
Yes, I believe so. That's what we're paying for.
Okay.
It's an outsider that sounds fair to me.
Thank you.
Did you say second?
We have a motion to,
Do the deal.
is there a second?
I'd like to second with addendum that, again, we take the lead on this and are the primary chapter involved, and whoever else wants to participate can secondary. That's it.
Well, I've got a note I'll ask.
Okay.
We'd like to recognize people that sell the most, so can we, is there a way to do that?
And I know from talking to her before there is, so we shouldn't have a problem.
Good deal.
We just have to know how many clubs want to do that up front. So we need to pitch it to the clubs, find out who's in, you know, who thinks they want to, who wants to do like some serious selling. Otherwise, we're just going to give them our club.
There you go. Okay,
Right.
call the question.
All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Hearing none, the motion carries.
Now technically, when I call a question, you do the vote on, call the question, then you do the vote on the motion, okay? Just with all we have, it's no big deal.
Okay. On the swarm side, do we have any information from Gwen?
I haven't talked to her.
Okay. I
I
have
thought you
briefly,
were doing that.
I briefly spoke with her, but we don't have a date in mind.
Okay,
And again, we were again talking about trying to do something with Ryan, just because I know he's already trying to put something together. So I just don't want to step on his toes and do it, you know, too close to his event. So
sure.
I asked for let me table that and I'll bring that back around in 2 weeks.
I think on the Glads, is it every night that they have a game and they do the teddy bear toss, or is that just specific?
Certain nights.
Oh.
Certain nights.
I said we could bring lions instead of teddy bears.
I don't know, that might hurt Maximus. They bring a big lion.
Actually, I think it's a really clever idea.
I know, right? Those events are awesome. The chuck-a-pucks, all that stuff is really cool. So, cool. Next.
All right, and next, just to note that we don't have we don't technically have a meeting on in December, but we do have a Christmas party, and that date would be the second Tuesday of December, which is December the 14th. Did somebody say something?
No,
Okay. I'm gonna assume that we would have Andrew make something, and for $10 a head. I know the Korean Club wants to come by and invite some others, and we would have our usual white elephant thing, et cetera, et cetera. And I guess we'll have more about that at the next meeting.
Okay.
All right. Next on old business is the smoke alarm, smoke detector.
I've got it, and we're going to bring them to the meeting tonight. We'll make it. Catherine, do you need me to get them to you?
Don, you need to speak into your microphone for us, buddy. Sorry.
Catherine, do you want me to get them to you so you can be the handyman, or where are you with the handyman?
No, I just, I've sent a note to Dimitri, who's the gentleman I'm pretty sure will be able to help them out. I just want to talk to him before we, she calls him randomly and says, hey, you don't know me, but can you come install these? So I just want to have a quick chat with him, and he may be working on a project this week. It's, he said, I'm waiting to hear from him. Hopefully he'll ping me back first thing in the morning. And then once I know that, then we can just I can write something for you to print out and give to her.
Okay. And the idea was whatever was left over from the smoke detectors.
Yeah. So what I'm well, the other thing I want to talk to Dimitri about is telling him, look, if you're willing to go and install them, then do the job and send me the bill, and the Lions will pay for it. So that, because I know Dimitri, if he's, as long as he hasn't had a, you know, change of heart in the last year, he's the nicest person I've ever met, and he works for stuff like this. I think he would do it for
The
me.
nicest person you've ever
Cold
met?
there, Bill. I'm sorry.
You used to try to blow up cigarettes on your father.
Who's that stripper coming?
Oh, right on me.
I can get the detectors to you anytime you need them.
Okay. Don, are you gonna be home tomorrow?
Some of it, I have a dentist appointment in the morning. Got some errands to run. I was thinking, are you going to be in, I said, Huntress tomorrow? You in there?
Hey, try it again.
You're going to be at Huntress tomorrow.
I'll be at the house most of the day tomorrow. I was just thinking I could give you a call and either swing by in the afternoon or whenever it's convenient.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a shout after the dentist.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Excellent. Like Catherine, we now move to new business. How money works.
Yes. So during the chamber event that Tom and I attended in September, it seems like a really long time ago. But Tom and I got to talk to a lot of really great people, and one of them was Karen. And I invited Karen to come and be a part of tonight's meeting so that she can help answer any questions. But Karen's organization works specifically to provide training, if you will, or an educational opportunity to those who want a better understanding of how money works. And as soon as she started telling me about what they do, the light bulb went off in my head, and I thought, well, you know, she's looking for opportunities and places to do these educational classes. We have this fabulous dedicated space with tables and chairs and everything we would need to host a class. And so I met with her a couple of weeks ago, and we started talking about the idea of, you know, whether it's here at our space, or even if we did something, you know, rented a space from City Hall, you know, try to put something together for the city of Lawrenceville as a community, not the government, but reach out to those residents that live in our own backyard and offer them this opportunity to come and take part in this for free. So I'll let Karen have the floor, and she can tell you a little more about it.
So first, thank you for inviting me here tonight, and Catherine for leading the charge, so to speak. So again, my name is Karen Zapp, and I'm with the How Money Works Financial Literacy Campaign. Our mission is to educate 20 million Americans in the next 10 years. That's a rather ambitious goal. We're accomplishing that in a variety of ways, one of which is we go into companies and educate their employees on the basics of personal finance. We also will go into organizations like this. We've been in the public library, churches, and whatever. But we teach a 1-hour class on the basics of personal finance. And it's the stuff that we should have been taught in schools, but we weren't. You know, these are just the basic things people need to know. And our class is based on the book that Catherine was holding up earlier, How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker. A little bit about the book. It takes about an hour to read. There's 8 cartoon characters that walk people through the book. And it was written for anyone from, 8th grade education and up. Yeah, it's got pictures and everything there, Tom. See?
Just what I need.
Yeah, here you go. Because we joke amongst ourselves that you know, sex education is required in all schools. But humans have been around a decade or two, and we kind of got that figured out. Not that it isn't still important and has its place, but how money works, how to manage your personal finances is something everybody needs every day. And there's a heck of a lot of people that don't even have enough money to pay or cover a $400 emergency. Now, you can blow through $400 in the blink of an eye. That just isn't much of an emergency. Well over, what is it, a third or something of the people don't have anything saved for retirement. And we're not talking kids who just started their career. We're talking baby boomer era as well. There's just, the statistics are grave, and we want to change that. So we come in and we teach the class. You know, the book is fun to read, and we make the class fun too. And just give them the overview of what they need to do, what they need, some of those basic life skills. And again, we do this at no cost. And Catherine asked the question, well, how in the world can you do that? We're compensated by the industry partners. So what that means is we give the class, and of course we've got, for those that want to fill it out, we ask if they would please be kind enough to do an evaluation so we can get the feedback. We've all got our bosses to report to. Some of those folks will say, hey, I want to learn more. They're not going to talk about their personal finances in a public forum. And so if they want to meet with one of our educators one-on-one, again, there's no, that they can do that. If they end up pulling the trigger on something, then it's through those industry partners where we're making recommendations to that we get compensation. And that's an industry standard. So again, it's no fee to the person who attends the class, and it's no fee to the organization that's hosting it. So with that, I will pause. One other thing though I want to tell you though, sorry, didn't quite hit that pause button fast enough, Tom. The book, I want to point out that the book has been featured on and endorsed by all the major television networks. We're talking CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, Fox News, ABC, CBS, XYZ, whatever, and dozens of other outlets. It's been on those national TV stations over 200 times in the last 18 months. The reason I say that is because you can't buy that kind of endorsement. You have to earn it. So I just want to reassure you this is the real deal. And and for those people who attended our classes, and by the way, we gave a class to the gladiators, to their staff people, they're so happy they had it. It's like, finally, I understand this, you know, what an eye opener. I didn't even know I should be thinking about XYZ, you know, and so on and so forth. So now I pause, officially pause.
Figure out how to get my daughter here.
Well, like I said, sometimes you don't know what you don't know, and a class like this is a great basic, you know, foray into that subject where people may feel uncomfortable. You know, a lot of people don't like talking about their money, and
very much,
you know, so I loved the idea of trying to put it out there and, you know, hopefully get the support of the local, you know, the mayor and whatnot, you know, to help promote it on the city's website. You know, hey, the Lawrenceville Lions are going to host this free class. You're welcome to attend, you know, and just put it out there, you know, as a public service, you know, as a true service project for us to do.
Okay for me to make a motion to get you to do this?
You say get me to do this.
Let you lead. Get all the help you want in the club.
So, I mean, how much, I'm trying to think of when we could do it. Well, first, I guess let's make a motion to host an event here. So I would like to make a motion that we host an event here at the Lawrenceville Lions, I don't want to know what's it.
The building.
The building.
That's it, the building.
It's the building.
And let Karen lead, and you know, we can further investigate who we would invite, what would, I guess January probably sometime. Would that be too soon?
I'm actually, my only concern with January being tax season for the craziest part of tax season for me truly, I was thinking if we promoted it for say early February, at least then some of the pressure's off as far as timelines, and it gives us an extra few weeks to promote.
But we don't have to put that in motion exactly.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, just, yeah.
Give her the autonomy to do it whenever.
Yeah, okay.
I second that motion.
All right, we have a motion in the second. Any discussion? And all in favor of approving at some point, hosting a meeting like this at the building, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Hearing none, that motion carries.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, now that we have that passed, is this something that we want to also discuss doing with Streetwise folks?
I'm already ready.
Okay. And I was thinking also, on a side note, I work at Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those folks that work there aren't, it's, this is being recorded, right? So I have to watch what I say.
Yeah.
Early in their careers, or maybe
Earlier in their careers, or maybe.
haven't had the opportunity to learn as much as you think they should.
Correct. And maybe the language is a barrier in learning what would help them along.
English is not their first language, or something else?
She said that. Yes, that's correct. First language.
If it's Spanish, we have slides in Spanish, and although they're very hard to get right now, we do have some books. So oftentimes what we found is that people where Spanish or some dialect of Spanish is their first language, if the speaker speaks slow enough in English, and then if they've got the slides in their native language, it works okay.
Okay.
Usually if they've got enough English to be able to work, then they should be able to understand what we are presenting there.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I realize this is coming off the top of my head, but what's stopping us from having multiple sessions?
Nothing is, from our end, is stopping it, and we do that quite often, Brian. There are some real estate companies and other organizations where we kind of go in on a quarterly basis, like they get new employees or whatever the case may be, or not everybody can be there the first time. So yeah, it's just not a one and done, because no.
Yeah, I would hope if it goes well that we can use it for membership as well. So
Good idea.
it's a good reason to go talk to people. Say, hey,
Yeah.
come on out.
But yeah, Streetwise, I'm already talking with the ladies over there,
Yeah.
Since they're not able to hold their classes right now. So working on that.
So we would just need to clear that with the city
With the
as far
city.
as hosting it here on say Saturday morning or something. You guys do weekends?
We haven't yet. We've done all kinds of other hours, because certainly some organizations that have shift workers, so I guess the earliest one we've done so far is 6:30 in the morning.
When we get into
That was
this
on a
week,
weekday.
we may find that weekends is not what you want to do.
It may not be, you may want an evening during the week, but you can try a couple different things,
Sure.
All right. See if we get the best of it.
And maybe, when Catherine and I met, you were talking about a number of organizations, and now that you said it, Bill, I remember Streetwise, but with the context that you folks have, you're very in tune with the community, much more so than I am, to say the least. Maybe ask them, what do you think would be best? A weeknight? I know when we were at the library, Thursday tends to be one of their better evenings, but that's their experience. I don't know.
Sure.
Or maybe do people prefer a weekend, where it is a Saturday morning or whatever. Yeah,
Sure.
so we're
Makes it
flexible.
tough.
We're flexible.
Because I even see this as something I'd love to see Ryan's kids, you know, that are in his program be able to take advantage of.
Yep.
GGC, the possibilities here as far as who to reach out to and talk to and get, you know,
Quinn House.
the Quinn House for sure.
The co-op, Window Village,
Oh my God,
um,
Oh Village, yes, we've got contacts there. Thank you.
um,
Love you, Brian.
I mean, just there's so many organizations flowing through my head, I can't spit them out.
Start a list, email it to me. But no, I mean, that's
Okay.
kind of the reason I wanted to give us some time to plot and plan as we're heading, you know, we're kind of heading into the next 6 weeks of being a little slower as far as service projects and things happening as we're gearing for the holidays, but it's a great time to, like I said, to stop and think through, what do we want to do? When do we want to do it? And start reaching out to some of these groups early, because the sooner we do that, when we get a date set, then it's easier to start promoting.
The one thing that I will mention is, so we do this, we have slides because it does include some charts and things. So the TV screen, now this is your largest one, it's okay, but we may need to have more than one at some point because, or projected onto the wall.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because
Yeah, because I think
people aren't going to be able to see.
Pete has a projector, doesn't
I did not know that.
he? Didn't he have that, didn't he bring one?
I think so. Yeah, because he had it for, didn't he use it for the membership meeting?
Oh.
Or not the orientation? But yeah,
Yeah,
and we
the
got some
new-
lighting, as you can see, can lights that kind of reflect off that center here on the wall. So that kind of can become a focal point in the room. So we can set the room, whatever works best.
It's not the club's projector, is it, Brian?
I believe it's his.
Okay,
He'll rent it to us.
sure.
So
So if
awesome.
it happened to be ours.
He'll bring him a biscuit.
I am thrilled. Thank you. I think this, like I said, I love the message of it being that I work with people that own businesses and have to figure out how to handle money. These are important things to know.
It's nice
Yeah.
for kids. Point out that my TV's too small.
Last thing I'll mention is that I will often prepare a lot of the marketing material for people because we understand our message.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
that effort on your part would be minimal. Just once I create it, what do you want? You want a flyer? Do you want a Facebook post? Do you want email? And then you distribute, because it's your lists, your network.
Awesome. But yeah, like I said, I think it'd be a great opportunity.
I like it.
Teachers, first responders, all just, tailor it to different groups under the sun.
Yep.
All right. Yes.
There is one item missing from our agenda.
Okay.
KP.
Sorry. No, I want to remind everyone that the next mobile food pantry with Streetwise is happening Saturday, November the 20th.
It's not missing. Everybody has it except us. I forgot.
Oh, is that what it, okay.
Yeah,
thanks.
it's an updated agenda.
Awesome. So at the bottom of your agenda is a reminder to go to, that there is going to be another mobile food pantry. Yes, door right there. Bill and I we are going to be going. Would love to have more folks come and help. Based on the October adventure, if you want to handle a certain type of food product, you got to get there early and grab a spot. But it could be something as basic as, sorting boxes of cereal to bagging up bread and meat. It's just an overwhelming opportunity to see, how this organization pulls together hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds of food. In October, they served 227 families in under 4 hours. And each family walked away drove away with somewhere between 160 and 180 pounds of food for their families.
I took a bunch of stuff over there last week, and it was outside of their hours, And what is it, John? Is it John?
Tracy is
Tracy,
the,
Tracy. I'm getting ready to drive away and he opens the door.
yeah. It's, like I said, I know, Brian, you and Don haven't had a chance to go, but it's just spectacular. And like I said, if you guys are interested, happy to provide transportation. You know, it's usually in the mornings. They want you there, you know, before 9. They open things up, get everybody running through. Try to get it, you know, the bulk of them done before the heat of the day starts. But this will be a great time of year to do it. It won't be super hot. So they do it once a month. And then lastly, I don't know if I told you this one or not, but for the December mobile food pantry, they do a birthday party for Jesus. And they have 300 families they are now servicing. And I have reached out to their events coordinator, and between our club and my church, I have told them that I'm going to do everything in my power to help collect 150 toys, which our group plus another church that I don't know who that church is, but she's got one other group collecting for these 150 kids, but they need to unwrap toys for a boy or a girl, can be any age between 3 and 8, under $30 is the cap, and it cannot require batteries. So blocks, Legos, board games, dinosaurs, cars, you know, good old fashioned toys, dollies, whatever. So bring a toy with you to the membership meeting. That would be amazing. They do have a very early deadline because they've got to get the gifts wrapped and whatnot. So our next meeting will be kind of the one big chance to bring everything. I will work with Tom to get a blast sent out to everybody and the other clubs in case anybody, just to let them know that they are doing a toy drive and if anybody would like to donate.
That's the party, right?
Huh? They will.
No, the next one's a regular.
Yeah, next one's a regular meeting. So,
3, okay, so it's 150 toys unwrapped, a boy or a girl, 3 to 8 years old.
Yep.
What was the other?
no batteries,
No batteries.
nothing electronic,
Under $30.
under $30. So,
Is there a minimum?
no, I mean, she said, what not Karen, Kelly told me was that they'll get donations. She said one year they got a bunch of coloring books and crayons, you know, from someone. She said, so what part of what they do is, that's why they ask for them to be unwrapped, because they kind of lay everything out and then they will put together a gift if they know they have siblings, so that one kid isn't getting a $30 gift and the other kid gets a box of crayons. You know, they try to make it fair.
Sure.
So, yeah, and this is for Streetwise. So they now have a little over right around 300 families that they are providing assistance to. So they basically sent me a demographic of all the children, and it's not just the 3 to 8 year olds. That's kind of the age group that we chose to help. Another church has totally said, we will take care of the teenagers. They're providing gift cards to all the teenagers. She's got a group working on the littles, the under 3 year olds. Yeah, so we've got, you know, different groups are pitching in and coming together and saying, okay, well, she's kind of breaking it down by age group, because some people only want to work with certain age kids. So it left this gap from 3 to 8 year olds, which my church loves shopping for.
I was gonna say, thanks for giving us such a good
So
age.
I know, that's the best part, like go crazy in the Walmart.
Dinosaurs.
And I will tell you, if any of you have ever been participants in Clark Howard's organization, the Clark's Christmas Kids, as of yesterday, there is still no indication that he has got anything going this year, which is very scary, because I know that Fulton County DFACS relies on him. That's where a lot of the gifts come for those kids. But his website has not been updated for 2021. So,
But, you know, if you look at the columns, he hadn't written anyone. I haven't seen him write one a year or so.
well, he retired from, like I said, he's kind of backed off. But last year he was like, we're going to keep this going. But I emailed the contact that was on the website from DFACS, and the email bounced. So I don't know what's happening. So all that to say, because I know people that love doing that event, because it's a very hands-on, you get to pick out a kid, you get to go shop for that kid, and it's all a lot of fun.
No cake at Walmart.
No cake at Walmart, baby.
That was a treat. You got a piece of cake up to
So
presents.
if that's something that you have done in the past or enjoy doing, consider this as a possible alternative that, you know, you can go and shop for a child and know that child's gonna, you know, that's gonna be the best thing for them, you know.
Which makes me concerned for Clark County,
I know, right? Just a little bit.
because no more, you know, it would be easy to keep
Well-
everything going that he's started.
And it could happen, it could light up this weekend, I don't know. Like I said, it's all kind of crazy. So anyway, if you're looking for other ways to donate this Christmas, let me know. I got 4 different things happening at my church for Angel Tree, so happy to take your money and give it to a child. So that's my shameless plug for the night. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Without anything else on the agenda, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Now, you're missing your district cabinet meeting was on here.
Oh, did anybody other than Pete go?
No, sir.
Okay, then we're gonna table that because he was the only one that was there.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I'll make
Do we
a,
have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion that we thank Karen for showing up tonight. And then look forward to the
Absolutely.
second part.
Thank you very much for coming, Karen.
My pleasure, Brian, and nice little avatar you've got there.
He's on the phone. He didn't get a choice.
It's just like,
All right, anyway,
Are you making another motion or no?
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting for this evening.
excellent, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries and we are adjourned.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Talk to
Thank
you
you
tomorrow.
all.
For that gladiator.
See you, Don.
You mentioned about
See you, Brian.
lions. You know, little
Good night, y'all.
fine.
Night, John Boy.
And
Can I-
guess I'd like to- and with this, you tie a little tag to it, you know,
Boogity. No, 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 no. Oh. Yeah, oh, TV. If I can get up. Oh. Governor, say hi. Hi. Hi up there. Boy. Oh, boy. Yes, it is. That's
Hi.
hello, hello.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, hi. Wow.
Hi. What's up?
Oh, well, I don't know. World keeps spinning around.
Just a call. Yeah, we're kind of in the middle of diarrhea, so
Oh, well, you know time to chit chat.
yeah, not a good time to chit chat. But I talk for a minute.
Okay. Well, I was going to start rambling on about the other places I traveled. That you were.
Yeah, like other than Paris and.
Oh yeah, one time we went up to British Columbia.
Oh really?
Yeah, and went to Banff, and then up the Icefield Parkway up to Jasper. Went out on the Athabasca Glacier.
Really? So you up by Vancouver?
No, east of Vancouver, more along the British Columbia Alberta border.
I see. Okay.
More,
Why particularly?
yeah, pretty close to the border with Alberta on the very eastern end. It's really rocky mountains. And this highway going up from Banff up to Jasper
diarrhea.
Yeah,
Well, then just sit there. You don't go reach for it. Sorry, go ahead.
and like every turn you come around a bend in the road, and it'd be another fabulous vista of snow-capped mountains and huge valleys, and it was just most incredibly
Beautiful, huh?
beautiful.
I happened to get up there.
Breathtaking. Yeah, we planned the trip. You know, we flew into Calgary,
But I
and
meant because of the mountain scenario.
why we went,
Yeah.
kinda. And Mary discovered there was some other town out a little bit west of there that they were calling that was going to be like the new Banff. So we went out there and we got a B&B, which is pretty nice. We were on the Columbia River, way out in the wilds of nowhere. It was really cool. I was out there walking on the Columbia River and looking up and down, and there ain't nobody or nothing.
Yeah, I've never even been to Canada.
Yeah. Oh, and one time we went while we were there, we went rafting. And went rafting. And at one point we were on the Illecillewaet River. The Illecillewaet. And it's a totally glacier-fed river, like most of them there are. So it's kind of a bluish gray. It's a different color.
Uh-huh.
And so we're going along in that, and you know, there's like 6 of us in the raft. And all of a sudden they're thinking, like, what is that up in the water up ahead there? And then they looked some more, and it was a big black bear swimming across